What totally obvious scam do people still fall for? Anything where the government is asking for gift cards as payment. US Treasury is funded by iTunes gift cards. Yes, this seems legit. Hold on while I read you my credit card number. This is your boss. Yes, I'm calling you from a phone that you don't have saved in your contacts. I need you to buy $1,000 in iTunes gift cards and send me photos of the codes through text. Unfortunately, this actually happened at my job yesterday. Happened to me over email. And they asked me to email to their personal address rather than their work email and send the photos. I figured it was weird as heck. But because I thought that it was dodgy as hell, I sent an email back to both the scam email and the partner of the firm, who they were pretending to be, and said it doesn't make sense for me to buy these for you from my city when you can get them from these places in your city. The scammer then got quite aggressive and the company blocked them. Haha. The partner is an older man, so he was very confused. We had someone try this with the owner of our company's name. What amazes me is that they do enough research to figure out who the big wigs are, and sometimes even the people who report to them or their assistants. The scarier thing about that is for a scammer to put in so much individual effort case by case, it would suggest they have a relatively high success rate. Your computer is infected with 7 virus. Click here to install immediately an antivirus and protect your computer. Needs bad spelling. It's a tool scammers use to pre-select people more prone to be scammed. This is also why the classic Nigerian 911 is so over the top. If only 5% of the population is scammable, easing into the scam with the other 95% is a big waste of time. Also needs Comic Sans font saying virus detected in big bold red letters, and a text-to-speech voice reading out a Microsoft number to call. The eyes has said over and over again, and they say it every year, and it is on the news, etc. We will never call you. Yet people fall for that all the time. From what I remember of my college classes, the eyes will never open communication with you by calling. Once communication is established, calling might be a way of communication forward. This is it right here. I've been audited twice. Both times because the eyes screwed up and said I owed more than I paid in taxes. They send a letter first giving you a case number, explanation of what they found, what you owe, and what the penalties are, and will be going forward, complete with dates for when payment is due. They leave a phone number for you to call. You give them the case number on the paperwork they mailed you, and then an agent is assigned to your case. I managed to prove to them they screwed up on both audits and kept my money. They apologized both times. How do you go about proving them wrong? It's all paperwork. On the first audit, they discovered very quickly they were in the wrong without me having to do much outside of one phone call. A local contract construction company put a $270,000 job in my name. I teach computer science and it's my only job. Simple stuff. The second time was more complicated. I set a temporary address at my parents' house in NC to forward my mail somewhere it would be safe and collected while I was moving from Chicago to TN for a job. I did this because it was taking me a while to find an apartment to rent, and I didn't want to rush the process. NC does state income taxes. TN doesn't. I didn't file a state income tax return because I was living in TN. I was confused by my mailing address having been set to NC for 2 months. But I wasn't living there. I was floating around on friends' couches in TN while working. I had to prove it with paperwork, like hiring contract for work, getting new plates and driver's license for the state of TN, etc. Copy and paste this on your Facebook page to remove Facebook's right to your pictures and information. Always surprises me how stupid people can be. Or the I don't not give Facebook the right to blah blah blah. Sorry Karen, you're using their platform, and you agreed to all that shit because you didn't read the 2S. Facebook isn't a utility. Freaks go Skins website. PPL enter their Steam account details and end up losing their account as pishers use stolen accounts to cheat in games. Lol, I actually fell for this somehow. Ended up getting my account back without any items gone as there was a 15-day cooldown because they changed email and mobile authenticator of me. My friend lost $1,000 worth of skins as he got vaxxed. Wow, that sucks. Good I didn't lose anything. Had a friend of mine fall for the deployed soldier scam. She paid $8,000 in court-martial fines for this person because they lost their primary weapon. Then came the gold scam. There was a package with stolen Iraqi gold that was being held at the border and she could get it all taken care of for $22,000 or go to jail. That's when she called me. My wife and I looked through everything this person had sent her and figured out the whole thing was fake. The shipping company that was holding the package, the Canadian soldier wearing US Marine gear and badging, the court-martial paperwork, everything. It was kinda fun playing detective. But then we had to break it to her and keep showing her the evidence repeatedly. It took a few weeks of her calling and asking. But what if, before she really got it? All told she was taken for about $20,000. Would have been 40 if she hadn't have called when she did. It was brutal. A friend of mine refuses to believe she's being scammed like that. It's been at least 7 years. She can no longer open a bank account because she gives him the info and he overdraws it. It's still ongoing. Making lists of personal information and posting it on a Facebook wall for data mining. They post massive lists with hundreds of entries sometimes. Favorite color, mother's maiden name, high school, first car, etc. I just told my sister to stop this. She posted our childhood phone hash, which I know for a fact she uses the last 4 digits for passcodes. That requires 4 digits. An ICE-exiled Nigerian prince contacted me by email. His royal family has been overthrown by the military, who has blocked access to the bank accounts whilst they are in hiding. Fortunately, their accountant still can access their wealth, and they desperately need a foreign account to move the money, so it can't be seized by the state until they are safe again. With amazing luck, they chose me in Australia to help them, which I must for the generous offer of 25% of the millions they need to move, as long as I provide my bank details and a scan of my passport just to confirm I'm real. If I don't help, I would never forgive myself. Apparently I'm their last chance, as others have failed them, and I'm to keep this just between the prince and I. I'm probably putting myself and the royal family at risk by discussing it on Reddit, but thought this post worthy of bringing awareness to their plight. You know what, Toby? When the son of the deposed king of Nigeria emails you directly, asking for help, you help his father and the freaking country. Okay, what if there is a real Nigerian prince who needs help? He would be super screwed. Fit tea. Aren't those just filled with laxatives or some ingredient that stops you from feeling hungry? Some are laxatives. Some make women shit so hard they don't absorb their birth control. And then, well, the biggest scam of all time. Ooh, this happened to a friend of mine. Though not from Fit tea. She had a horrible GI bug, and between the pooping and puking, the pills didn't end up in her bloodstream, and boom. Baby, I don't understand these stories. If you're puking that bad, why do you still feel up for sex? Edit. Lol, didn't consider that the sex happened before the bug. Very obvious now. We are the eyes. You owe us money, and we demand you pay in gift cards. How anyone could continue to believe them once they demand payment in gift cards baffles me. I tricked one of those guys into thinking that I went to Walmart to get them and kept him on the line for like 2 hours as I gave him some codes from the back of used cards that I image searched online, and then convinced him that the Walmart guy must have scammed me, or that I was too dumb to have gotten them activated. I guess he thought I might have stolen them or something. Anyway, anytime he tried to put me on hold, I freaked out and demanded to tell him my side of the story about why they probably were after me for my taxes. Ended up with him accusing me of being a scammer. Wait a second. Typical narcissists know you response. It's projection all the way down. A common scam we get in Australia is a robo-dialed phone message that says, "Hi, this is Nicole from the NBN. Your number will be disconnected in 24 hours. Press 1 to speak to technical support." The NBN is our national broadband network. When you press 1, sure enough, the call is taken over by an Indian scam call center operation, though bizarrely they change their messaging to the usual tech support one. "We called you because we see errors coming from your computer. Anyhow, I try to spin them along but often the language barrier makes it too hard. I ask what sort of errors, but they keep following their script without any creativity to improvise in response to what is being asked. Eventually I lose interest and ask them what their grandmother would think to know they lie to people to steal money. Most recently, the lady on the other end of the line then complained, "Why did you press the button? Dialed 1 and then hung up saying to me don't waste our time. Apostrophe. Hello, ma'am. I'm calling from the Internal Revenue Service to let you know we've discovered fraudulent activity on your social security number. So we are cancelling it. I received a call saying my social security number was found at a crime scene with drugs and dead bodies. Why the hell would there be a social security number at a crime scene like that? I had someone call me with the same scenario. They said my SSN has been used to rent a car in a different state, and that car had been found with blood and bodies inside. I promptly informed them that were I a suspect in a multiple homicide they would just come pick me up and question me, not give me intimate details of the crime over the phone. I just go along with it. Try to explain it away. Yeah, that was a crazy party. I swear that's the last time I'm drinking Coolers, they just make me go buck wild. Well, boys will boys. Am I right? Wait, did you say car? Oh good, they haven't found the house and boat yet. Boy are they going to be in for a surprise when they do. Crazy laugh. Say, what time you done work? I just picked up a case of Coolers. Apostrophe. You forgot to tell them why all the bodies. To cover up all the embezzlement you did. You got all that cash laying around now. It makes you so nervous. You need to hide it somewhere. Maybe they want to hide it for you? See how deep their greed goes. I used to be a 911 dispatcher and old people call all the time about scams. 1. They always think it's real, but a family member made them call and ask us if it is too. Once they think it's not, they want the local police to investigate. Yeah. Glenda. We don't usually investigate crimes that are originating from Nigeria here in rural Montana. 3. They often give them their social or address or other information before they call. Ugh. Edit. Please don't call 911 for this. Notify the FBI if you want to tell someone. Edit #2. People seem really upset that local police don't investigate these crimes. I didn't mean to joke and make it seem like these crimes aren't a big deal. Of course they are, and it's vile and disgusting to go after old people like Glenda who don't know better. Like it or not, local police just don't have the resources to investigate these kinds of crimes. It would take access to it, time, and money that they just don't have. It's unfortunate but true. There are just too many scammers. I really have no idea what kind of resources the FBI puts into each claim they get. My in-laws got a phone call a few years ago saying they had won millions in a contest, but to get the money they needed to pay some backquote fees of some sort. Obvious scam. They hit my husband up asking for money to pay the fees, and were going on about how excited they were about winning all this money. My husband tried telling them it was a scam, and they absolutely refused to believe it. The only way my husband was able to convince them was to get them on a three-way call between himself, his mother, and a police officer. The police officer, after quite a bit of time, finally convinced them it was a scam, and they didn't send any money. To this day they deny it ever happened lol. And so much of the time, they have to pay the fees with gift cards. Don't you pay all your bills in gift cards? Give me $20 and I'll tell you. Send me your account number and sort code, together with your full name, address and social security number. Printer ink. Do you know how hard it is to milk a squid? You can milk anything with tentacles. I've got tentacles. Milk me. Trust me. This doesn't end well for you. I love you. Please send me money so I can visit my dying sister in country name. I know I've only known you 2 weeks online, and we've never met in person, and I've called you from 3 different burner phones, but that doesn't mean we don't love each other. Apostrophe. Seems oddly specific, bro. I've read a few articles. It amazes me how many people lose thousands because they are lonely. I worked retail. Some lady trying to buy hundreds of dollars worth of Steam cards. Scraggly looking lady in her 50s. Totally Steam's demo. When I asked her why she was buying them, she said, "They're for my boyfriend who lives in Europe. He uses them to call me. And NBSP, I told her they were for buying video games, and you can't pay for phone calls with them. And she just didn't believe me. Some people don't want to believe the simplest answers. Hello. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. My car is 20 years old and has 205k on the clock. There is no warranty. Bonus points if they say this will be their last attempt. And then you get the same call the next day. Catfishing. MLMs. Sister-in-law only communicates with the rest of the family when she's having a pampered chef or oven party or gets a new catalog. I used to follow someone on Instagram whose entire feed was Arbonne products, and I seriously cannot believe that these people sell enough to make a living off of that crap. They don't. The bottom don't. The top are millionaires. $399.99. This chair is only $300. My sister is one. I said something was $20 and goes, no, it's $19.99. I said, oh, so you're the target. My sister is this too. Gas is only 90 something cents a liter. Yeah, it's 99.9 cents a liter, which is pretty much $1. Gas is the worst because for some reason they are able to charge 0.9 cents on top of it all, at least in the US. Like, why is it 199 per gallon rather than just 190? No other products get to charge an extra 0.9 cents. So why is gas the exception? That shit adds up, man. Just like in Office Space, they are taking all my pennies. No other product does charge to the 0.1 cent. Anyone could if they wanted to. The mill was standardized in 1792 by the Coinage Act and has not changed since then. Half-cent coins were minted through the late 19th century. Other than gasoline, it will often see use in property tax assessments, electricity, and water billing. There is, I believe, a dollar retail store in California which does as well. Local MILFs who want my cock. They do. They are cannibal MILFs. Muchly enjoy luscious flesh. Scammer mails. Send me this much money so I can free my funds and pay you back 10x. My father fell for this in 2013. We had to get the RCMP involved to get him his money back. No, they weren't on horses equals, that's just ceremonial. Otherwise they are just federal cops. My grandma almost fell for this as well. She got a phone call saying, hey grandma, it's your grandson. I'm in jail and I need $2,000 in iTunes cards for my bail. She thought it was my brother. I guess whoever the asshole was sounded like him, and she went out to transfer money at her bank. The bank teller asked her out of curiosity what she needed that much money for, and she told her. The bank teller was a younger woman and realized what was happened and called my mom. My mom stopped her from going through with it and even made my brother call her and assure her he did not get arrested. They prey on old people. It's fucked up. Kudos to the teller. Using sex for identity theft. Either the classic horny singles in your area are begging to fuck you. Yes, you. Or something like e-girls who advertise a $30 fuck and say that will even drive out of state to get to you and ask you to either make a deposit first or give your credit card info. Sex apparently will always sell and you can take advantage of people with it. You can tell it's a catfish too. Always the camera roll rather than an actual snap. So you know it's just a bunch of saved photos that they upload and re-upload on a constant basis. Who is dumb enough to think $10 anal is a real thing anyway? The same people who think an escort will travel to any state for like $100. Make $10. 000 working 1 hour a day from home. Mom saying she won't be mad if I tell her. Honest to God, how fucking dense does someone need to be to fall for send me iTunes gift cards or you'll be arrested? My grandmother nearly fell for one like this, but they were fucking clever. I live on the other side of the country from my grandma, and she raised me. She got a call one day from me telling her that I was arrested for drunk driving after I crashed my car pretty badly and broke my nose. Then, I told her my attorney was gonna contact her because I couldn't talk long and tell her how she could help me. Another random phone number called my grandma and asked for $3.000 in prepaid Visa cards for my bail. She called my uncle to ask for help, and he fell for it too. They were working on how to get the cards for my bail when grandma said something suddenly seemed not quite right. So she called my cell phone. I answered, and she immediately blurted out, "You're not in jail. It's a scam. It's a scam. I'll call you back." Turns out, she knew right away the girl didn't sound like me, but the excuse of the broken nose explained that away. The girl never said my name or anything, just picked up the phone and called her grandma. She said she was so overcome with fear and a feeling of needing to protect me that she just jumped before she thought of it. This happened to my grandpa with me too. Someone called him pretending to be me. Say back quote my name for him. I did something bad. I'm in trouble. Help me etc. He immediately called me to make sure I was okay. But the really creepy part was that whoever was on the other end knew the name I called him by and used it. That creeped me out the most than it just being a scam. Any of those videos that purportedly show all kinds of kitchen hacks, some of them are fucking dangerous whilst others are just a waste of ingredients. If you leave a wooden spoon over the top of anything boiling to stop it boiling over, for example, you really should just turn the heat down and avoid potentially burning yourself on a really fucking hot utensil. It's not hard. No, you can't melt down gummy bears to make a jelly/jello. Why even try when jelly/jello is fucking cheap anyway? Avoid anything that blossom or yummy post. I'm sick of explaining to people on Facebook that they are horseshit. If it looks too good to be true, then it almost certainly is. Just learn to do things the old-fashioned way. Edit. It seems that laying a spoon across a boiling pot is a much older habit than I realized. I have worked in kitchens for close to 2 decades and never saw any chefs do it. But I have seen both my sister and housemate try it to utterly miserable results. So please folks, learn to boil with more of a low and slow mentality in mind. Measure your produce and add the correct amount of water. Too many people seem to fill a pot up to the brim and that is just asking for disaster. 5-minute crafts. So yummy. Troom etc. all just want money. At this point it seems like 5-minute crafts, at least that page specifically, is in on the joke and just trolling people. It's actually hilarious to read the comments on their FB videos, where people get incredibly angry about the content and the 5-minute craft account gives folks serious replies. There is a lot of evil on the internet, but I'll give them a pass for making me laugh at dumb people and being fairly harmless.